Born and raised here in California, one of my very first experiences was walking precincts for my mother. And it's kind of a fun story, you see, because we went to our local elementary school, and we were very fortunate that it was just a couple blocks away from our home. And my mom after seeing the quality of education, thought, okay, this is pretty good, but maybe I should get involved. So she joined her local PTA, and then she became the PTA president. And as a PTA president, she saw there were some real problems now with the district, because the more she got in, the more she saw there was more that she could do. So she decided to run for the school board. And so as a 6-year-old boy, I was walking around neighborhoods, putting signs in people's front yards saying, "Vote for my mom for school board." And I'm pleased to say that she actually won that race. And not only did she win, she became the school board president. Now, this might sound like a small thing, school board president in a little town in the south of San Diego. But it turns out at the time, the Chula Vista Elementary School District was the largest elementary school district in the entire state. So this was really my upbringing, is understanding not only going through the California public education system as a pupil, but seeing it from kind of behind the scenes with the PTA perspective, with the school board perspective, seeing all of the various fights that were going on in terms of, management versus, teachers and classified, unclassified employees, all of these things, but really understanding that education was about one thing in the end of the day. It's about making sure that our next generation gets the very best education possible. Education in California is about one thing. It's about our children. So fast forward to just last year, I just got married. In September, last September, I got married for the very first time. A beautiful, wonderful person inside and out, and she came with an 8-year-old daughter, because I'm a pretty good negotiator, so I got a daughter out of the deal. And my 8-year-old daughter is phenomenal. She's fluent in English and Spanish, and the reason is because she goes to a public school. And the public school she goes to is a full immersion Spanish and English. And I have to tell you that the quality of education that she is receiving, I think, is fantastic, but it's still not enough. When I first met my daughter, she couldn't read to the level I thought she should be able to read. So you know what I did? I took an active hand, just like my parents had taken an active hand with me, and I got her to outside tutoring. Now I'm pleased to report she's in the 3rd grade and she's reading at the 7th grade level. I've also done a lot of parent-teacher conferences over at her school. And there's wonderful people there, there's wonderful teachers there. And I think as I'm telling you these stories, I want you to think of your own schools. Raise your hand, how many people here are actually actively involved at the school level? Right, there we go. How many people here went to California schools, public schools? How many people here have children or had children that went through public schools, right? How many people here remember when California used to have the very best public schools in the nation, right? Is that where we are today? 46th in the nation in math, 47th in the nation in reading. What's happened? What's gone on? Going back to my 8-year-old daughter, I went to her class, met with her teacher, and I said, look, education is really important to me because I know what all the stats look like. I've been in the California legislature for the last 5 years. I'm an economist by trade. I know how important a great early start is for all of our children. And I know that if we don't take these active steps, we're going to remain at 46th and 47th in the nation. And that's simply not good enough for me. It's not good enough for you. It's not good enough for my children or any of your children. And by the way, we just had another one. So I'm pleased to report again, just about 2 weeks ago, my wife gave birth to another beautiful baby daughter. And I want her to go to a California public school. Does that sound about right? Right? This is the thing, but we can't sit back and stand idly by. So as a 6-year-old kid, when I saw my mom go to the Chula Vista Elementary School Board District and run the school board, I saw all these problems firsthand. And now being in the legislature for the last 5 years, I've seen where the system is breaking down. Jerry Brown, when he first got into office, has now expanded per pupil funding by 50%. But our scores, 46th in the nation, 47th in the nation. There is a massive, massive disconnect going on in California. And this is what we have to change. We don't just have to change it for my daughter that's in the 3rd grade or my daughter that was just born. We need to change it for all of you and for all of our children, because the next generation of Californians is counting on all of us. And if we don't give them the start that they need, what's going to happen to us? What is going to happen to our future? Think about it very simply. California used to have the greatest education system in the nation. Now, we're always among the bottom quartile. 46 in reading, 47th in math. It's not good enough for me. It's not good enough for you. It's not good enough for California. The bottom line is California must hold its education system accountable. It is not simply throwing more money at the problem. It is making sure that we have adequate testing in all of our schools so we know where our children are, how they're progressing, and we have to start rewarding our teachers based upon the performance of our children, not the seniority of their job.
Assemblyman.
Thank you.
Thank you.